you to 4 issues of the official magazine with the special fan club covers, which you can't get on the newsstand. So, for instance, the current issue is the Nicholas Lay cover, which is very popular, as you can imagine. It includes a bunch of stickers, an official cover letter from the fan club president. You get exclusive photos of the cast, of Jillian and David, and you get a membership card. And it's a pretty good deal.
I bought this at the X-Files Expo auction of memorabilia from the show. So, because I like the writing, I thought it'd be good to have the script.
500, looking for $600 for the autograph poster. 500, looking for 6.
550.
550. Okay. 550, looking for 6. We got a bid at 650. If we can get one more bid at 650, we'll sell the other poster. You'll match it down here.
Script was 900.
The fever of an auction got me going, because normally I would never spend $800, but you know, for a good cause, obviously, and just for something. This is something I may keep for a long time.
This is the prosthesis that was used by Nick Lee as Krychek. How much did I pay for it? $650. The money was going to Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, which is a charity that Chris Carter cares a great deal about. It also happens to be, quite coincidentally, a charity that I care a great deal about, because my husband's best friend, who toasted us at our wedding, has a grandson who was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes when he was less than 2 years old.
Apparently in Boston, they were selling scripts for $1,400, so I think I got a bargain. And I wanted to bid for the poster, but $2,000, $2,500, that's a lot. So,
if they had auctioned something like a breakfast with Nick Lee or something like that, or that kind of an opportunity, that would have been much more interesting to me than any props or whatever.
Let's put it this way: everybody here who's selling some of the official merchandise is going home every weekend elated.
It started when we got access to the internet in work, actually, and I was just playing around, and I started looking up things that I was interested in, and I was amazed. I couldn't believe that there was that much activity about it. And I actually lurked around for a while before I gathered up the courage to post on the official website fan forum. And I was hooked right from then.
There's an amazing internet crowd that works together. Every Sunday night after the Fox broadcasts the show, the internet lights on fire with the amount of people logging on to discuss this week's episode and the things that they discovered. And there's a real familial, community out there of people. The X-Files Expo has allowed a lot of them to come together and meet each other like for the first time, because they've always just been keystrokes and letters and words on a green flashing screen. So it's fascinating to watch them come together.
For me, I liked the show, and when I found the internet did it for me. It really wasn't. I wasn't obsessed. I wasn't focused. The show wasn't my life. Before, when I got on the internet and found people that really liked the show and really started to look into it further, what has become from the show and from the characters has become to mean more to me than the show itself.
In the one website that I particularly go to, there's everything from 10-year-olds to people who are in their late 60s. And so you have that whole range of expertise and experience and knowledge. And you have people who are in school doing every imaginable field you can think of, from doctors, lawyers, film study specialists, you name it, historians, archaeologists.
There's news groups, there's lists that send email directly to you, to everybody in the list. There's just fan clubs, there's online chat rooms, there's ARC to chat. There's even like posting boards.
You can get anything in there. You can get people discussing Mulder's obsession with pornography, and other people saying why they like these characters so much. I mean, the thing about the X-Files is that there's so many characters, and each character has its sort of legion of fans, and every time that character does something on the show, people will freak out about it.
Yeah, there's this one website. It's do you watch X-Files? Do you ever see the Red Speedo episode? They have a webpage with poems that women are
poems about the Red
Speedo. It's incredible.
It is unusual, I guess, being the first show that built a fan base through the internet, where people communicated with each other about the show. And in fact, that may have been what saved the show in its first year, was that people were talking with people from across the country were talking with each other and sharing their experiences, and that way producing a very close-knit group of fans, whereas otherwise they'd be isolated in cities and maybe there'd be only a few.
That's the transition right there, and I think that that's when you found also everybody going online in droves, and sure enough, I mean, now it's, you know, international.
There are a million websites for the X-Files, especially fan fiction. Yeah. People write stories based on the show and they send in. There's about, I don't know how many sites for that, and it's really popular.
It's people writing their own fiction about the characters from the show, and you know, some people want to write something that they think would actually happen on the show. So some people will write stories that I think this is an episode that should be on TV, and you know, they stick to the same format. Other people use it to explore things that could never ever happen on the series. So a huge glut of Mulder-Scully romance stories, some of which are worth reading.
They're divided into two groups: the people who want Mulder and Scully together, the shippers, for relationshippers, and the no-romos who don't want a romantic entanglement between them. And they're pretty evenly divided.
We're the shippers.
We are
the
shippers.
All right, fine.
Hear us roar.
They have to get together.
They call me the ASG, the anti-shipper goddess, because I'm dead set against the idea that there's even a hint of romance between Mulder and Scully. I can't see it. I've never understood where anybody could see it. I don't even think they're basically friends.
Saying that for them to get married, have kids, we just want like a little acknowledgement of how they feel for each other.
A lot of the fan fiction out there, I don't know if you read some of the alternative stuff, similar to the slashers. Do you know about slashers? Okay, here's another subgroup you might want to look into. Slashers are what they call a group, and I was invited to a couple of their conventions. Slashers are Kirk/Spock homosexual relationship stories set in space.
Slash is the term for people who, you know, for Mulder Krycek kind of, well, for any male relationship that fans talk about in fandom.
And there are these secretaries and housewives and stuff, and they write all of this stuff and send it amongst their group, and they meet at these conventions and then call themselves slashers, and it's really bizarre.
There is a certain contingent of X-Files fans who think that Mulder-Scully is not the ideal pairing on the show. Draw your own conclusions. Group of us on the internet are the Mulder-Krycek Romance Association.
I didn't realize there was such a network out there on the internet of fan clubs and fan chat.
The chat rooms are by far the busiest on weekends, and they're supremely busy just before an episode and just after an episode. So Saturday evening to Monday night, it's very hard sometimes to even get onto the servers because there are so many people trying to get on.
I am like really on the far end of doing it way too much. But I am married but do not have children. I have a time-intensive job. I spend a minimum of 4 hours a day, and on my day off I've been known to sit at a computer for 12 hours. But I really am way too, but I recognize that I am.
No, you're not, because
but that's because we do recognize that.
Okay, I'm also married, but I don't have children. I'm on at least 3 hours a day, and sometimes more.
I'm taking up too much time with access on the internet with the X-Files, because I feel like I have to go out there and see what's been posted every day. I have to check my email. It's just so addictive, and I've met so many people that it just feeds on it.
I usually spend most of my free time on the internet, as much as I can, because I work on my webpage a lot.
I'm online 5 hours a day.
I'm online maybe 1 to 2 hours a day.
I go onto a lot of the fan fiction lists, mailing lists, a couple of talk. I mean, not as much now because it's gotten huge. They're really, if you get on too many mailing lists, you can literally receive hundreds and hundreds of emails per day, and you can crash your system.